And we are going to change out the spark plugs on a 2004 Honda Accord. This is the 4-cylinder engine. For the 4-cylinder, your spark plugs are located right back here on the back top part of the engine. And you have 4 bolts to remove to take this panel off to get down to where the spark plugs and spark plug coils are. Now these are going to be 10 millimeter. So you want to take out these back 2 first and move them away. These second ones, these 2 on the top, when you loosen them up, they're going to be attached to the panel itself. You don't want any loose bolts or any kind of loose anything falling down into your engine block. Once you remove the panel, you drop something down in there, well, you're hosed. So let's go ahead, 10 millimeter. After using both my hands to get those bolts undone, you see the panel just lifts right up. You can pull it right out. You can see right here you have coil 1, coil 2, coil 3, and coil 4. And we're going to have 2 more bolts that we'll need to get out. Right there. And right there. Coil 1 and coil 3 were held in by the panel bolts. And the same thing, when you get these bolts out here, make sure you don't drop them. You do not want to drop them down into your engine block. 10 millimeter socket as well. Alright, now on to the other 2 10 millimeter bolts. I'm going to loosen them. Now we're going to pull them out, the spark plug coils. First thing we want to do is disconnect each one of these tabs here. Just push the little button right there and it'll click right off. If you have a little bit of trouble getting it disconnected, just lift it up, out, so that way you got some space to work with. And you just need to push this tab until it clicks. And once it's clicked, you can take a flathead, just put it in there and gently push it apart, and it'll pop right off. And then we're disconnected. And if you take a look right here, you want to inspect that. Looks pretty good. Not a lot of wear and tear. No black marks, so this wiring is good here. Now we can pull out our first coil. Now when you take out your coils, you want to make sure you put them into the same order. I should say you want to lay these out into the same order as you put them back in. So you took out coil number 1, it needs to go back into coil number 1. Don't mix it up. So lay it out in a way to keep it in that order. And when you look down in there where we pulled the coil out, that's where your spark plug is at. Alright, let's get the other ones off. See if I can get this on video for you guys with my one hand. Like I said, you want to lift this up, give yourself some space to work with. Push on that tab to make it come loose. See how it's open? It clicks right there. Get a little bit of wiggle. And flathead right in between. And just push a little. Let's see, it just popped right open. Or I say popped right off. And there it is right off. Again, nice and clean. Pull out this coil. And this coil looks alright. I'm taking a look here. Coil 1, 2, 3, and 4. Looking at number 2, you can see a lot of buildup in there. So my bet is this will be the first spark plug that went bad, because the other reason I would say that is when you take a look at the coil as I pulled it out, you can see there's a lot of carbon buildup on it. We might have to replace that one. And now we got our spark plug socket. We're going to put it right down into our cylinder hole and rest it right onto that spark plug. There we go. And now pop it loose. There we go. Got it right out. Now, if you run into an issue where you can't get the spark plug pulled out, you can just take the injector coil, put it back in there and reattach to the spark plug and just pull it out. But your spark plug ratchet should, or your spark plug socket should take care of that. Now let's take a look at the spark plug. Now, taking a look at the spark plug here, you can see there's a lot of burn and carbon buildup on there. And you can also see burn marks here on the white part down here, so this spark plug is definitely not good. Let's get the others out. Alright, see carbon buildup on that one too. Yep, burn marks, no good. There we go. Let's carbon buildup on that one too. And burn marks, yep. Last one. Yep, lots of carbon buildup on that one too. Not burned. This is our new spark plug. Nice and clean, no carbon. Correct gap. Be putting that in. Now you want to make sure that you are sticking this thing in straight in and threading it as you tighten it, because you don't want to misthread it. And then it's going to cause you all kinds of problem on your engine block there. If you misthread it, you can end up cracking it. So what I like to do is I'll put it into the socket. Let it fit in there. What I like to do is I like to put it in there still on loosening and twist it the opposite way, just so that way the threads settle in. Once I have the threads settled in, then I'll switch it over to tighten. And I'll do that without the socket, or without the do that without the ratchet. And so I'm turning it as if I'm loosening it, so that way I can get it into the correct threading. And then I can then turn it the other way, and I can feel that it is on the threads. It's not giving me any resistance, so I know I threaded it correctly. Now we can tighten it up. Tighten, make sure you don't over tighten it. It's like any other bolt or nut. You don't want to break it. All right, next one. Same thing. Put it in there and start turning it as if I'm loosening it, just to line up the threads. And then I can start turning to tighten. I'm going to feel for any resistance. If I feel a lot of resistance, then that means it's not on the threads. I got it going. Okay. All right, next plug. Same thing. Slide it in. Same thing, number 2. And a turn as if we're loosening, just to get it threaded. And now turn to tighten. All right, now we're good. Okay, going back in the same order, got my number 4. It's going to slide right in when I get the plug part facing towards the other piece of the plug. Slide it in, line it up with the holder, just push it right back on, and push that back on. Okay, and we'll put the plug back on, push it on until it clicks. There you go. Make sure your hole is lined up right there. Do that for each one of them. Make sure your hole is lined up, so that way you can put the bolts back in. All right, let's get the next ones in. All right, number 3. Get the plug out of the way. This time, I'm going to plug it in first. Here's a click. I'm going to push it down in there and make sure the hole is lined up. There we go. Down in. All right, number 2. You can see I cleaned it up. Let's see if it still works. More than likely I'll have to replace it, but give it a try. All right. Well, let's push it down a little more. And let's go ahead and plug it in. Hear the click. There. Push it down in there, line up the hole. All the way down. Good. Lined up. What you didn't see, because I needed both my hands, I used both my hands to push down on the plug, or the, I'm sorry, not the plug, the coil. Push down with both hands until I heard a click where the rubber seal around the base, right down there, clicks back onto the valve opening here. So make sure you push it down until you hear it click on. Let me show it to you here. You can see that ring here that's going to click onto it. The valve is going to go right into there. Okay, let's get the plug out of the way. Push it down. Plug it in. Hear the click right there. All right, let's see if we can get that. There we go. Use my hand to push down on there. I'm going to use both hands to push down on it, make sure it does. There and line up the holes. Okay, so remember, this hole and this hole, this one and this one over here, the bolt from the cover is going to go into it, so you need to get your extra bolt and put it in that one, and the far end one 10 millimeter. All right, a little bit of a skip ahead. We want to make sure that you leave the 2 bolt holes open that line up with the bolts on the panel. So I get over here and line it up. It's going to be my first coil and third coil, meaning 4th coil and 2nd coil. Those loose bolts go into. Said I used both hands, so didn't record doing it because I need both hands to do it. Can't hold the camera at the same time. Now let's go ahead and line up these bolts here. Let's put the panel back into place. Put those bolts right into the hole. Okay. I got it. Now we can tighten them up. One. Done. Done. And done. Alright, there we go. Spark plugs changed.